Yes, people. What's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We are back again with another video. I got an Arsenal panel for you guys today, and boy, we got a lot to discuss. Before we go any further, just let me run you through some of the headlines. Today, there's a lot of headlines. First things first, Šeško, Gyokeres. It seems like Gyokeres seems to be the front runner right now. Arsenal apparently linked to another Chelsea player. Please stop. We're linked to Noni Madueke. Thomas Partey set to be leaving Arsenal, as we are currently looking at a replacement in Agoume from Sevilla. We also have a really tough start to the new Premier League season. Is it time to panic? Arsenal fans, we need signings, Arsenal. Get them in as soon as possible. Šeško links, Xavi Simons links, Eze links. Apparently, the Nigerian international is available over there at West Ham, and they look like they might be looking to sell him now. So we're going to have to wait and see if we still can go and get him. Liverpool are looking to get Isak. Liverpool looking to get Guehi. Man City have already done their business. Are we falling behind in the pecking order? And there's rumors that Arsenal could see if Aston Villa test their resolve on Morgan Rogers, as they do have FFP issues, and Morgan Rogers could be attainable. Lewis-Skelly has a new contract across the line. And yeah, let's bring in the panel, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go any further, please do hit that like button. First person I'm going to introduce is the same person I introduced last time. Kunle in the building. Go ahead, bro. How you doing?
Oh yeah, now my people, it's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. Smash the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. Big up, Eagle. How's it going, bro?
I'm doing well. Let's bring in the rest of the panel. Next, we got Lay African Gunner in the house, keeping everybody informed on Twitter as always. How you doing, African Gunner?
Doing good. I think as the days go by, losing a little bit more willpower and a little bit more hope with the club doing nothing. But yeah, man, surviving.
There you go. Thomas Partey's #1 super fan, Dylan, in the house with the Thomas Partey flag in the background. Today is a dark day for you. How you feeling, bro?
I'll believe it when I see it.
You believe it when you see it. We'll talk about it when we get there. Because you like the NBA. Of course I like the NBA. NBA Finals on right now. I hope the Pacers win the next game, force a Game 7. Next, we got my guy in the house, Gunner Souls, one of the co-hosts of the channel, one of the main guys in the channel, always helping out. Big up to you, bro. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. How you feeling?
All good, man. All good. Just chilling, enjoying the weather, dying out here. Don't know how you man live in hot countries, but hey, we're surviving.
Hey, there's something called air conditioning. There's something called air conditioning, and they don't have that in the UK, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, we have something called insulation. No matter how much aircon we use, man, as soon as you turn the AC off, it goes hot again. It's annoying.
Don't turn it off.
Hey, I'll tell you something, man. The buildings here, I don't know how they were built, but they were not built for air circulation.
Nope.
It's like they're like coffins. But before we go any further, let's hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Should we begin with Thomas Partey, boys? Because the news is that Thomas Partey is not going to be staying, and the reason that is currently because there's been a situation where they've stalled on the contract negotiations, and Thomas Partey, in the past, has noted that he still wants to stay, and Arsenal have noted that they want to come to an agreement. But at this point, ESPN has reported that Thomas Partey is set to leave Arsenal, as sources have told that the Ghanaian international, whose contract expires in June, is not expected to re-sign with Arteta's side. And I don't think it's due to Arteta, but I do think it's mostly due down to the contract situation. Reportedly, we have offered him the same wages as what he's currently on. If I'm mistaken, or you guys have heard differently, please do tell me. But reports are that we've offered him the same wages as what he was currently on this year, and he's turned that down, and maybe he wants a raise in wages, maybe he wants an increase in pay. But the real situation currently is that Arsenal just think, at the age that he's at, with his history at the club, that they don't think he's worthy of a pay rise, and that they want to keep him on similar wages on a short deal. And there's a competitive offer elsewhere, which would mean Thomas Partey is destined to leave Arsenal. Who should I start with? Should I start with Dylan? Dylan, go ahead, bro.
I think it's been one of the stupidest things we've done since letting Aubameyang go for free. In fact, it's about 10 times dumber. We've just let Jorginho go. He's the last midfielder of a high age left in our team that offers experience in the Champions League at Atletico, Arsenal. This is a man who was benching Rodri playing for Atletico Madrid. This is one of the best midfielders on the planet, if not the best defensive midfielder on the planet. if anything, he's probably worth a pay rise for another 2 years. But at the end of the day, Arsenal don't function like normal clubs, so we're messing about with it as we are with every other signing we're trying to make. We're messing about, and life's probably going to pass us by. Hopefully it doesn't, but I've seen it all before. So yeah, I'm pretty devastated about it, to be honest. But I'll believe it when I see it, because I don't think Arsenal would be stupid enough to let him go as it stands. So I don't believe everything.
Just to let you know, reports are that Thomas Partey will still be reporting to training or something like that, and that there's still negotiations. What?
So we're doing a preseason in Spain in like a week and a half from now. So basically his contract ends right at the end of June 30th. So July 1, he's no longer an Arsenal player, and that overlaps with that preseason in Spain. So basically they're saying he's going to go, but at the point where his contract ends, I
thought he wasn't allowed in Spain.
Well, that was obviously disproven when he traveled with the team to go for the Champions League, right? So
yeah,
I don't even want to get into that. I mean, it's quite clear if you have a brain and you saw him travel that it shouldn't even be raised as a discussion topic, in my opinion, anymore. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Thomas Partey stuff, I mean, yeah, I have a mixed feeling on this one. Like, I want to get rid of him just to I think it's just too toxic and poisonous, and it's just an issue and a problem that I don't want in my club, irrespective of what the scenario is. Like, it's just something that I feel is holding us down. But at the same time, do we have another 40 million to go and replace him right after we just got rid of Jorginho? I mean, we only have Odegaard, Declan Rice, Sambi Lokonga, really, that are on our books as midfielders, and now we'll have Zubamendi. So not enough, right? We still need to have another midfielder. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. I didn't expect it to go this way. And I do think that maybe might be one more turn where we just agree, or he just finally just agrees to stay with us. But he has better offers in Turkey and Italy. And if it's more money, then he should just go. And we should just move on.
Look, the reality is Partey is gone, innit? And and the only way we could have potentially kept him is if we were going to increase the wages of a 32-year-old that's only given us one full season. Look, I love Partey as much as the next guy. He's a baller and he's going to be hard to replace. But it's really down to these scouts to go and find someone to come in. Like they just have to get it done. I don't care what they need to do. Get it done. Go and find the 40 million, 35 million, whatever you need to do, replace him. Because if we're just getting rid of him and doing nothing in return, that worries me. As long as we're doing something in return, obviously Zubamendi coming in, I can just about handle it, because Partey needs to be reasonable as well. Like, you're 32, bro. Well, on paper you're 32 anyway. We'll talk about his real age in another stream. But but you know what I'm saying? You're 32 and you're asking for a pay rise, and you've only given us one full season. It's kind of cheeky of him, to be fair. Like, if he wants to still play at the top level, let's just agree to our deal, and you get a chance to potentially win a major trophy this year as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's up to Partey, really, but we're not increasing his wages for nobody. He's already one of the biggest players in our squad.
Souls?
He's going. I'm glad. Get out, man.
Oh,
we need to stop being lazy. Whoa.
That's not.
I don't give a shit, man. You guys, your hot take, cold take, whatever. I don't care. It might be the heat, it might be whatever. But the reality of the matter is, right, the club needs to move correct. He's a 32-year-old cheekily asking for 50 grand more a week. Are you mad, bro? How do you go from a full-timer, to a part-timer and ask for more money? Nah, man. Nah, respect yourself, man. If you want the money, go abroad. That's where you need to go. You gave us one good season. You played for a contract. It's as simple as that. I'm telling you, we can easily replace the guy. It's not going to be that difficult. Go get me Lucien Agoume from Sevilla, and we've got Zubamendi. Calm, man. This is not going to be the biggest loss that we've made. Yeah, it's fine. Let the guy go. He's 32 years old. The guy's going to get another injury by walking up the stairs because he's got another baby reveal to do. I don't care. The guy's been too injury prone. The guy's got too much drama around him. Just go. Yeah, you've not earned that kind of respect from the Arsenal club to demand more money. You're going to be playing a part role next season. We've got Martin Zubamendi coming in and potentially another midfielder coming in. I don't know where this guy
from Partey.
What's that?
Zubamendi will learn from Partey.
He doesn't need to learn. The guy's a baller himself.
Doesn't
What's
need
there
to
to
learn.
learn? There's nothing to learn.
I disagree with that, but in terms of like,
Nah, man,
do you want to give Partey a
you
pay
guys don't
rise, bro?
understand
That's
how
the
good
reality. We're not gonna,
Zubimendi is.
we can't give him a 32-year-old a pay rise. That's the
Okay,
reality.
there's two
No,
things.
he's
There's two
stupid.
things. There's two things. One, are we going to be yelling we missed Partey first game after we play Man United?
No. Because
Yes,
the reality is,
if we don't
did we
replace
not regret,
If we
did we not
lose, yeah, of
regret
course they'll be
signing
shouting.
Aubameyang to a new contract as well?
Think about this. Think of all the wet wipes that have been going, oh, what if we had Xhaka for the last 2 years? Xhaka's not even half the player Thomas Partey is. So imagine.
And we haven't even replaced him, so now
The
getting
reason
rid
why
of
people say
Jorginho
that is
and
because
Partey
the
as
club
well.
is stupid. The reality of the matter is, if the club moved correct, which is what I want them to do, then we wouldn't be saying these things. The reality of the matter is, they thought replacing Granit Xhaka, who's a natural midfielder, with a guy who they want to make a midfielder, was the wrong move. If they wouldn't actually gone and got a actual left-sided midfielder, we wouldn't be saying I don't miss Granit Xhaka. I want the club to go and correct their mistakes. That's
Yeah,
the same
but
thing
so
with Thomas
we're
Partey.
saying
Now
let's be
Zubimendi. Zubimendi will not make me miss Thomas Partey.
We're saying that we still haven't replaced Xhaka, and now we're getting rid of another two experienced
We've
midfielders.
already replaced Partey though.
Well, and my point is, let's be realistic, right? The fact that it's been 2 years and we still haven't even gone on a Xhaka upgrade, and now you're going to get rid of Jorginho and Partey.
We have done it
my
already.
thing is, I don't trust the club to go and replace them adequately, which is why I'm nervous. Otherwise, I wouldn't care.
They've already done it. They've already done it.
This guy.
Zubimendi is coming in.
But that's one player, so we lose.
Okay, let me stop. Let me stop everybody.
The second player doesn't really matter.
Let me stop everybody. The second player we are linked to is this gentleman right here, Agoume. In case you guys don't know who I'm talking about, let me show you. This is who we're being linked to. And reportedly, he's 22 years old. He's strong at winning duels and physicality. He's capable in the build-up. He's kind of press resistant. He has the experience playing in La Liga. And honestly, he does look like a smart, cost-efficient signing. Overall, let me just go through it. Let me just go through it. He's played in the Serie A. He's played in the French league. He's played in La Liga with Sevilla. He's currently going to cost you around 20 million overall. They're saying that he's a good defensive midfielder who can catch, who can win the ball high up the pitch. He does have a good pass on him also. Let's go to the next part here. If you compare him to Thomas Partey, he might not create as many key passes. He might not be as good as Thomas Partey at winning duels and carrying the ball. But overall, everything else statistically over there in Seville, he's been doing quite well. And I think in an Arsenal team where they're a lot more progressive, the 23-year-old can definitely improve massively. Now, is he better than Thomas Partey?
Improve. I need players now. I got Thomas Partey world class right now. I don't need it improved.
Is it a backward step going from Thomas Partey, who's 23 years old, who's 32 years old, to Agoume, who's 23?
What's his age got to do with anything?
It has a big factor. When you're 23 years old and you're gonna come into a club less than 90K a week easy, compared to a guy who's demanding 250K a week at the age of 32, when he's gonna be a rotation piece and he's not gonna be starting week in, week out.
Denon, the real question is, have you watched the guy play?
No, of course I haven't, because who the hell is this guy?
There you go then. How are you making a comment?
You haven't watched him either.
He does. Yes, he watches La Liga.
Why are you lying?
Lying.
He watches La Liga.
Of course. Let's be honest. We don't watch it.
Just because you don't doesn't mean other people don't have
highlights. And you basically.
No. I don't watch highlights. I genuinely watch more La Liga than I do Premier League.
You sit down and watch Sevilla on a Tuesday night. Yes, of course you do.
Yes, because I watch more La Liga. I've been watching La Liga since I was 6. I actually watch more La Liga. I started off my journey in football watching La Liga more than the Prem. I came to watch the Prem.
So the question I asked to the panel.
No, wait.
Arsenal let Thomas Partey leave. They buy Agoume for 20 million to be a backup rotation piece with scope to grow and to improve. Is it not the right way to go?
Yes.
No,
it's not Agoume.
Do you know what? Wait, I want to ask.
It's going to be Zubimendi who's replacing him in the six.
He's going to replace.
Hold on.
Whichever way you put it, Jorginho and Partey are leaving. Agoume and Zubimendi.
No, wait. Hold on.
Jorginho barely played. Agoume is going to be the understudy to Zubimendi anyway.
which is fine. Hold on, real quick, Ego. Like, because obviously you watch La Liga, so tell me about this. Like, what can we expect from this Agoume guy? Because I'm not going to pretend I've even watched any comps of him. Like, what type of player is he? Is he?
No, it's gonna be similar but different to Partey, right? So he's not gonna be as elegant on the ball in terms of like how swift like Partey can be, like the nickname the Octopus was given to Partey. But what you do see is a destructor, like a lot. He's a more elegant Rice, if that kind of makes more sense, right? He's in between of the two kind of players, like a hybrid of the two. He's more destructive and a lot more kind of a destroyer type midfielder who's got a bit more about him. He's a lot more press resistant, in my opinion, than a Rice. Like Rice can get out of situation by driving with the ball, whereas Agoume has got a bit more to his like dribbling and close control and getting out of situations in that way, the half turn, that kind of thing. And that's why I kind of think it's a perfect replacement. I know, yes, he's younger, and obviously whether that translates to the Premier League, obviously time will tell. But for me, if I'm going for someone who's going to replace him, he's a younger, but I wouldn't say raw, but kind of a made Partey in a sense as well. So I'm fine with it. I don't think people realize like how good this guy will be in a situation where Zubimendi doesn't work out and you need a bit more physicality. You bring a guy like this in. He's 22 or 20. Actually, he's 23 I think from last time I checked. So he's old enough. He's got experience. He's been playing for Sevilla for a few seasons. He's been playing in the first team. I'm fine with the player coming in. Like I don't think people are making opinions because they haven't watched him. They're looking at a name because their favorite player is going out. The other way to look at it as well is when Aubameyang, a lot of people wanted Aubameyang to sign in a similar age and stuff like that, higher package, all of this sort of stuff. And look how that turned out. I'm not saying it's entirely Aubameyang's fault, but he hasn't been the same player since he signed his contract either. So sometimes getting away from a player at that sort of age and bringing someone in can be refreshing for the team as well. And that's kind of how I see this.
And I'm with Souls as long as we get someone in. If we get rid of Partey and nobody comes in, that's when I start having the issue, because at the end of the day, we need that extra body. In
reality, we're kind of replacing Jorginho more than we are replacing a Partey, because Zubimendi is going to be the main guy.
No, I hear what you're saying, but we're still losing two midfielders and two experienced midfielders. So, and we're also losing the experience of Zinchenko as well. So we need to do something in return.
But Zubimendi is experienced in some ways. It depends on how you see that experience.
With like he's not that he doesn't make up for the experience we lose from Jorginho, Partey, and Zinchenko. Regardless of how much you like them as players, like as a squad, we're dropping massively in terms of experience with those losses.
Been in the top
and quality.
Souls, you can say what you want, but you and I both know that they're not nowhere near as experienced as those players.
By the way, the Spanish national fans, right, and nationals have actually said that if it wasn't for Zubimendi coming on in the final, like he changed the game himself.
Bro, I'm not debating his quality. This ain't about his quality.
Let's have a conversation right now around Jorginho and Partey leaving and bringing in two midfielders of what do you call it, Agoume and Zubimendi. We don't know. There's a level of unknown on how good those two will be when they walk into the building right away. But 2 in, 2 out overall, can you fault the club? They let two players leave on a free that are 32 plus, and we're going to be bringing in two younger players on better wages. And obviously, as much as I love Thomas Partey, he cost us in the Champions League.
What?
He did.
By getting a card, yeah, okay, yeah, people mess up. Like he got a yellow card,
and in the second leg he cost us too. The goal was his mistake.
Oh, another one of these people who thinks that he was at fault for those goals. Play football, man. He was not at fault for any of those goals.
He headed the ball out the box straight to the for the first goal.
Have you ever played football?
Yes, I have.
The second goal is negotiable. Maybe he could do a better job of checking his shoulder. Someone should really communicate and give him a man on, and he shouldn't really be getting the ball in that position anyway. The first goal, if you think he's in any fault for that goal, you've never played football in your life. If you think he's at any fault for that first goal, the ball's come into the box with loads of people, thick of an area, and he's headed it away. That's his job. There's two players then. One player misses the duel, and then Martinelli doesn't get out to him quick enough, and he shoots the ball. If you think Thomas Partey is at fault for that goal, you've never played the sport in your life, and that there's absolutely no explanation other than that for thinking that in any way that he could have been at fault for that goal.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Thomas Partey had a hand to
the second one for sure, though.
No, you need to rephrase and say that he makes mistakes sometimes and it has cost him. Because if you say something general like that, no one can disagree with you.
He has made mistakes in the past, yes.
Yeah, he's made mistakes, not just this last season, the season before. But again, that doesn't dispute anything about his quality and what he brings to the team. And
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying
he has a stupid error every 6 games. Let's keep it
at this moment in time.
One.
Do you guys want to pay? Do you guys want to pay
a
32-year-old for 2 years, $250K a week to sit on the bench? Because I think he's going to be sitting on the bench for Zubimendi.
No, why would he be sitting on the bench? Well, he's going to play. Like,
because we've got a midfielder coming in who's better.
He's not going to play.
You guys
Thomas Partey.
You can play.
I'm telling you, man, Zubimendi is better.
I'm not ready to say that, but look, Dylan, let's keep it a buck, right? The fact that with Zubimendi coming in next season, he's gonna play more than Partey is. That's gonna be 100, which is why we're not even considering the pay rise, because we're not gonna give a pay rise to a 32-year-old that's gonna be a rotational player next season.
What Man City have, and the reason Man City is so good is because they've got numerous players in every position to the point you don't know who's going to start. That's what we need, but we don't have that. So everyone knows what we're going to come with, and if that player's injured, then it's a downgrade. It's like if Saliba or Gabriel gets injured, Kiwior is a downgrade. Yeah. If David Raya gets injured, whoever's coming in goal is a downgrade. If what's his face?
But that's usually how it is for anybody's best starters coming out of the team. It is slightly a downgrade, but it's about how the team as a collective work together to negate that issue.
No, but I hear what Dylan's saying, man. Like the drop can't be the drop can't be massive in it, which is why Dylan, I don't. It's not that I want Partey to go. My only issue is if Partey goes, is if we don't get anything in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we have to get in Agoume.
Yeah, we have to, or it's a terrible.
I love
thing.
how everyone's saying we have to, but no one's talking about the fact that we have Lokonga and we might just keep the guy.
That's not even an option, bro.
We extended his contract. We extended
so we can sell him for money, bro. So we can sell him for money.
I hope so.
Okay, let's talk about Lokonga. Guys,
let's not talk about
if Lokonga was anything, Lokonga's on 52 because he watches La Liga and we don't, and he's not mentioning him, so I'm not.
No.
Lokonga's on 54K a week.
Arteta might be stupid in some ways, but he ain't keeping Lokonga as his second.
Who's gonna buy him?
Bro,
exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
No
It doesn't matter, man. Like whatever happens to him happens, innit? Oh, he's not going to go into the season knowing that if Zubimendi gets injured, it's Lokonga. It's not happening.
No, it's not going to be Lokonga. Declan Rice comes back as the 6 if he gets injured, and you play 2. You play a left 8 and a right 8. Well, like, what are you guys talking about? And also, we haven't been serious.
That's horrible too. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible.
What?
You brought Lokonga into the conversation.
No, I'm saying that we're talking about as if we were going to go spend 20-30 million on another player. I'm telling you, be ready that the club might say,
it's not only Lokonga. 1 second. We also have Fabio Vieira.
Yeah, we're going to sell him, but he's not a defensive player. You can't compare. He's not a defensive player. Sambi Lokonga is a CDM.
Let me show you guys something. Liverpool just put Kwanzaa up for sale for 40 million to Leverkusen. Now, the reason why they're able to do that is because these players are not on stupid wages. Look at what you got Fabio Vieira on 45K a week. You got Lokonga on 51K a week. You got Kiwior on 58K a week. Now, I would say out of those 3, the only guy who's actually making his money worth is Kiwior. He performed way better than what he's worth.
Those salaries are chump change. What are you talking about, bro?
No, bro. Let me give you a perspective. Kwanzaa at Liverpool is on 30K a week. They're able to flip him like that.
But they didn't buy him.
The issue does not lie at these guys.
Academy player, bro.
The issue is here. Reece Nelson on 100K a week is unmovable.
How many times has Reece Nelson signed a new contract at Arsenal? How many years has that guy been at Arsenal, right? Like, you have to look at all these things. Like, you're not going to be on the same contract for like 10 years, right? Like, Reece Nelson signed like 2 new contracts already. So, of course, he's going to be on a much higher thing. And Liverpool do better business than us. So, like, we shouldn't compare, man. We shouldn't compare. Liverpool always do well. They always sell their crappy players for so much. And, they're doing it again. So, I'm not surprised.
Bro. Unfortunately, since they are the team that just won the league, we do have to somewhat compare. Look at how they have Curtis Jones on 15K a week, bro.
Yeah, but don't forget, Curtis Jones has come through recently.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. Literally 2 players.
They got Luis Diaz. They got the Luis Diaz on the same week.
But you got. It's like this, right? Now go look at Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan's wages.
I don't know what they are.
Exactly. This is the point I'm trying to make. The longer you have a academy player, like if you look at Saka, for example, who's been doing it over a period of like 4 or 5 seasons, his wages are going to reflect that. If you've got players who have literally just made an impact in your squad, Kwanzaa has not made a Liverpool impact yet. So why is he going to be anything
He's not
more
even
than
a starter in their team. So like, why
Can you
would
see Bukayo Saka's wages over the years? Let's see. So Bukayo Saka, he started off. Where is it? Why is it not show per week? Anyways,
is it going to be like those cash breakdowns or something?
It's just showing the previous. It's not showing the previous ones. It's just showing the ones going forward for some reason. Why is it not showing the previous wages? No, it's not showing it. Forget it. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I just think Liverpool have been better at keeping their base wages lower than us for some of their players. And if you look at the breakdown, we do have a slight issue. We do have a slight issue at trying to sell some of our players because of the base wages on some of these guys. Like right now, Zinchenko, we're going to struggle to sell Zinchenko because he's on 150K a week, and people across Europe might not be willing to pay those kind of wages. Where if I look at Liverpool, Alisson, Becker, Ryan Gravenberch, McAllister, Robertson, and Salah and Van Dijk are the only players above 150K a week.
Yeah, because they're all starting players and the most important players of that team, which is why they're on high wages.
No, but for Arsenal, we almost have a full 11 of players above 150K a week, where they have like 5. We do have a slight issue where we have players in and around the squad getting paid like they're the best players in the team when they're really just squad players. And that is a squad. That is the issue that lies with the likes of Reece Nelson. That's the issue that lies currently with the likes of Zinchenko. That's the issue on why we're unable to sell players of quality. As much as we banter Chelsea lately, their policy have been, if you sign for us, you're signing for lower wages so we can flip you if we need to. Right now, if we wanted to flip Tomiyasu,
but there's a big difference though.
No. Let me finish. Right now, if we wanted to flip Tomiyasu, who's going to put Tomiyasu on 100K a week across Europe?
No, but there's a big difference with perception as well. This is what people kind of misunderstand as well. Perception in the market is something that takes a while to change, and that's what we're working on. Like even under Edu, it has slightly changed where we are getting some money for certain players. Now under Andrea Berta, like when you do have these connections in the market, they do start to change. Michael Edwards is a very renowned sporting director who can use his connections. Think about it, like they've just went and spent £100 million, £100+ million on works. Of course, there's going to be a backhand deal that's going to come back their way. Like it's always going to be the case that a club will nice you once you nice them.
Look at that. Somebody in the chat just told me we have 15 players above 100K a week. We actually have 14. You count here, that's 13 players right there, plus Gabriel Magalhaes. We are looking at a wage bill that's starting to go back to the level where Cronkies were making fun of it in the first place, saying that we're on a Champions League wage bill in the Europa League budget. Obviously, we're not in the Europa League anymore. We're in the Champions League. But Martinelli...
So that comment doesn't stand then, does it?
I know that comment doesn't stand, but Martinelli, Zinchenko, Ben White, Calafiori, Moreno,
the Martinelli one pisses me off the most, I won't lie.
And Reece Nelson are all, at times, next season, going to be rotation. If I show you Manchester City...
I blame Klopp for the Martinelli thing.
If I show you Liverpool right now, Liverpool, for example, they don't have that many players above 100K a week. And if they do have players above 100K a week, they're either starters or peripheral starters. The only players I can say here that are not starters that they have on 100K a week is Jota and Nunes. And they're not starters due to injuries, and one is not good enough. Where the rest of the team, nobody's really on 100K a week plus, except for like Van Dijk, who's not on this list because he was injured the last game of the season. You go to the same thing with Manchester City. Manchester City, they pay more wages than us per capital, per player. They are on a ridiculous thing where almost all of their players on 100K plus. That is crazy. But I don't think we make as much as Man City right now. We don't have as much earnings on a capital basis because of our winnings are not as high as theirs. And if we want to get there, yeah, we need to pay the top wages. But some of these players down here, you look at that, Ake, Akanji, they're on high wages. They're not gonna sell them quite easily. But they're players who are older and they sign for quite cheap compared to some of the guys that we paid top dollar for and giving ridiculous wages. I just don't think it's sustainable if we continue to give players these wages.
But don't
without
forget,
selling
we've
players.
been in a cycle of having shit sporting directors. We've finally got one that's serious. This is what I think people need to understand, is that the structure of the club hasn't been great for a very long time, even under Zida's, under, as good as Edu has done to try and get us to where we are, he's not a experienced like negotiator.
They ain't done
in
shit,
terms of
man.
being
Fuck
astute.
Eddie, man. Sorry.
And I agree, but I'm just saying I'll give him some dues like of trying to stabilize the club and whatever, right? But like now that we've got Andrea Berto, someone who doesn't take shit from players, who doesn't take shit from the manager, who doesn't take shit from anyone, it's like he'll have set capitals. Like, this is what we want to do.
I just want to say, quickly shift gears to Noni Madueke. Quinley's got to go, so I wanted him to speak on this before we go. Boys, we are linked to another Chelsea player. At this point,
bullshit, man.
It is starting to get annoying, and it's and the stuff that's coming out, the way that they circulate these news, to me, it sounds like Noni Madueke. Obviously, Chelsea are looking to sell him, and Arsenal are amongst the Premier League clubs interested in the winger. Now, Newcastle are also amongst the Premier League clubs linked to the winger. I don't see why they didn't mention that. I also think that this link started from when we wanted. This link originally started, in my opinion, from when we were linked to getting Raheem Sterling. Chelsea last summer were looking at potentially moving him on or somebody else to bring in Neto. The links were his price tag was set at £35 million last summer, apparently. Now, Arsenal came in for Noni last summer. We ended up with Sterling. Now, a year later, he's for sale. Let's link him back to the club that originally were looking at him a couple months, 12 months ago. Matt Law knows what he's doing. This is rage bait at its fullest. And I do not think Arsenal are seriously going to sign Noni Madueke. And the main reason why I say that, he's not even better than Ethan. Last season in the Premier League, Ethan, statistically per 90, contributed at a higher clip than Noni Madueke.
They played less games, no? Or they played the same amount of games?
No, he played 26 games. The other one played 32. Obviously, he played less games, but this is per 90 cap.
Nwaneri didn't play. Nwaneri played 26 games in the Prem last season.
Yes, he came on as a substitute a lot.
Bruh, that's crazy.
Nah, dude. I gotta double check that. That doesn't
26, yeah. In the Prem or in all comps.
No, it says there season 24-25 Premier League.
Yep, he played 26.
Bruh.
Wow. You think I'm lying? You guys,
no, I don't think you're lying, man. It's a shock. It's a shock.
He played 32 games across all competitions. No, he played 40 games across all competitions.
And people are telling me, you need to.
No, he has. I've verified it with transfer market stats as well.
Damn.
People are telling us, you better be careful. He might want to leave. Shut up, man.
Yeah, yo, Dylan, you still there?
Nowhere, brother.
He's
crying over Partey, man. They'll be back.
So guys, talk to me. Noni Madueke, what are we saying? Because you got Chelsea fans. You got Chelsea fans thinking we're freaking like going to a charity shop every time we go to them.
This thing, yeah. Just like you said, this there's two ingredients here that makes it like a fun. It's fun for the media. Number one, typically we like to buy rejects from Chelsea. Number two, there's nothing really hot in terms of Arsenal. So let's throw something in there because we know the fans are going to go crazy about it. Everyone's going to complain. They're going to get some flicks and clicks on social media, and they get what they want. There's in no way Madueke's coming to Arsenal for the sheer fact that I don't think he's not good enough, but number two, his ego is too big for him to think he's going to come to Arsenal as a bench warmer for Saka. I think he'll be a decent cover for a top winger. He'll be a decent cover, but his mindset and his ego thinks he's the guy, innit? So he's not going to come to Arsenal knowing that Saka's the guy. So I just think it's a nothing story on both sides, isn't it? It's just trying to rattle us. That's it, and it's working.
I don't even think it's about the ego of like not wanting to play like behind Saka or anything of that nature. I think it's just something which doesn't make any sense. Absolutely makes no sense. They know, and Andrea Berta knows that he was brought in to deliver the Premier League title or to deliver a Champions League. Like the cups, cool. I'm happy with it if we win them. but his objective is to get the players that are going to get us over the line. Noni Madueke ain't going to do that. The guy's going to get sacked. So is Arteta.
Wait.
They're not doing it. They know that this fan base is. Do you know what? As much as we may not think
Fragile,
next season,
bro. Fragile.
It's done. Like, this is the season that Arteta has to win it. If he doesn't, I don't care what the other clubs are doing. I'm giving him no context this season. If he goes and gets Noni Madueke and goes and wins a Premier League, cool, I'll hold my hands up and say fair enough. But if he goes and gets Noni Madueke and he doesn't, he can take Noni Madueke with him and fuck off with him. I couldn't care less. So whatever they want to do, this is the sword they want to die on. But this is a bullshit story.
Yeah, it's
100%.
And you know the other reason they do this, by the way? It's because of the fan base. We get so embroiled into this bullshit. We're like, oh my God, we got linked to it. Bro, do you man have two brain cells to rub together? Like, come on, you know this is rage bait. Like, we know there's no truth to this.
But they'd rather pretend that it's not and just keep whining about it. Crazy.
No, because people would rather have the agenda of like, oh, the club is shit, the club is this, the club is... They just want to be moany little twats. Like, just chill out, innit? Like, let the window happen. We ain't going to get Noni Madueke. It ain't happening.
Facts. But we let the rival fans like bait us every time, and we bite the bait every single time. We never just say, play like the bigger person. And like, nah, we bite every single fucking story, every single trigger. We're all over it, bro. Like we seek validation as a fan base so much, it frustrates me. I'm like,
you guys want to know crazy
like, who gives a damn?
Yeah,
bro?
but that's also because our own club has ruined us so many times and screwed us over so many times that like we are so traumatized that like when we see it, so like the other journalists and stuff know that they can do this to us, that they like, you know, we've been looking at Gyokeres.
African Gooners, we should be immune to this. How many years have we dealt with this? I'm seeing people get angry at stuff that our club do. Every year, I'm like, right, how does this still get you angry, bro?
You know what? I would 100% believe it under Edu, but because we've got Berta, I don't believe these stories.
Apparently, Edu went to Chelsea last season for Noni Madueke and came back with Sterling.
Bro, that guy will go there for anything.
Bro, he's the kind of guy to go to Madrid to try and get Rodrigo and get kidnapped. Like, he's an idiot. Bro, like, he's a joker.
He hasn't said a word this whole time about Madueke, and that's the first contribution. Oh my God, hilarious. Guys, by the way, I just looked at the stats. Arteta has played both Ethan and Ethan and Miles Lewis-Skelly 39 plus games last season in all comps.
He plays the youth he believes that are ready. Like this is the one thing that Arteta's done really well is bleed the youth at the right time.
Also, did you guys hear PFA Young Player of the Year nominees? The both of them. Crazy, eh?
Normal, it's expected. I mean,
it's expected.
Really? I think so.
There haven't been that many excellent young players in the Premier League.
Yeah, there wasn't really much. And the way Lewis-Skelly, I mean, for sure. The only one
Morgan Rogers. I think Morgan Rogers might win it. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think a person I'd put like close to is probably Liam Delap.
I think Lewis-Skelly is gonna win it just because he's liked more by. If this is based on voting,
more by who? Who's he like more
by players? By players, not by. It's not by fans or whatever, right?
This is the players award.
Players,
okay, fair enough.
Right? So
he can win it again next season, then, right? Technically.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, and Nwaneri can as well.
I don't think. It might be I don't think Ethan deserves to win it this year.
I agree.
You know the funny thing is, Ethan has put up similar numbers to some of those other guys, and he's
no. But you've got to understand the total impact. Like a Morgan Rogers has had a huge impact
on the whole team. Yeah, and so is Lewis-Skelly, right? That's why I think
Gyokeres as well has had a great impact for Bournemouth.
Hoyson, no disrespect to Ethan, I think Ethan will get his time, but I just don't think the impact that you talk about, like
it's too early for him to be in the list.
Even a Delap, right? Have like he's just
on a permanent basis. On a permanent basis, he's had the most impact because he's played half the minutes compared to some of these guys, and he has almost as much.
No, but you're looking statistically though. You've got to look beyond that. Like if you actually watch like Gyokeres play, like the impact, even Hoyson, for example, the impact that they both had for Bournemouth, incredible. Same with Delap for Ipswich, incredible like contribution for them. Like,
so who do you think is going to win it, guys?
So many games for them. I'm just
If it's
saying
not
that
one of the Arsenal boys, I think Morgan Rogers wins it, in my opinion.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
I just think, I mean, hot take. I think Ethan's on the bottom of that list this season.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I was surprised to see him there, to be fair.
Big up
No, but
Jacob
there's just
as well.
not been that many.
Big
Like
up Jacob.
I was thinking that as well. But I was like, if you're looking at 6, he does deserve to be there. But that's just because we've not had that many young players. What's the age cap on this?
21.
Yeah, there's not been that many great like under 21s.
Yeah. So these guys could be still there for next 2 years potentially. Kunle, you gotta go, or do you want to stay for one more topic?
Go run it.
All right, let's run it. Well, actually, since we're just talking about Morgan Rogers, guys, do you think we could actually pull off Morgan Rogers? Dylan, let's start with you since you've been mad majority of the stream.
I want Morgan Rogers because what I've thought for a while is that I want players who don't fit what looks like for example, I don't think he's anything like Martin Odegaard. I want a range of players that do different things. Like, he's going to pick up the ball and he's going to run through people. Like him coming on, right? It's like when Man City would have Haaland and then he'd come off and Julian Alvarez would come on. They're the two most polar opposite strikers you will ever see in your life. And it's just two whole different things coming on. It's like a whole different idea. So the idea of having loads of players who don't fit our system, for me, is a good thing, because I'd love to have the option of having Morgan Rogers just come on or even start, or just to catch teams off guard. Maybe Arteta can expand tactically a bit and explore a few new options.
So the report is Aston Villa have PSR issues, guys, and Morgan Rogers could be sold for less than 70 million.
80 million, I'm hearing, mate. I'm hearing 80 million.
Less than 70 million potentially, as Villa need to sell before the end of the month so they can meet PSR
I've got
regulations.
a question. I mean, someone else can obviously take over.
You know what? 50 million.
Are we saying Morgan Rogers is coming in as like a main piece, or are we talking like he's going to come in amongst other signings?
I think he comes in. He's our left winger.
Then no.
Is it? Nah, man. Not,
I think if he comes in, he's our left winger / midfield signing, and we don't get.
What's even his best position? To be honest, I like him, and he's looked neat this season. But I think we need another year for him, bro. I don't get.
I think he fits our playing style.
Wonders, bro. I don't do that.
I think he fits our playing style. I don't know where he's going to play in the formation if he starts.
It'll have to be the 10, man.
Yeah, left 8.
The thing is, I feel like with
8, 10, whatever,
we're going to go back to
left 8.
80 millions, mate. Never.
I don't know if we signed Morgan
50
Rogers.
million player at the most.
I don't think we signed Morgan Rogers and sign what do you call it?
Left winger. Yeah, of course.
Rodrigo, but Morgan Rogers could be like Samir Nasri.
Yeah, we could. Definitely could. I mean, my opinion is that
anything more than 50 million,
bro. Because think about it, like if you have Odegaard, if you have Zubamendi, or you have Rice in behind, and then you have Morgan Rogers on the left combining with Trossard or Martinelli or Calafiori, and then on the right you have Odegaard, Saka. Then you can just inflict pain on either side. And Morgan Rogers can drive with the ball. He can dribble. It's very hard to get the ball off of him. And we need someone like that who can just push us forward, take us into the final.
He doesn't do his best work on the left wing, though.
And guess what? Aston Villa already lined up their replacement for Morgan Rogers.
If you're good enough, bro, you're good enough. You know what I mean? Like, you got to develop into both sides. He's still young. I'm not, I think if you give him the opportunity, he probably takes it. And you can move Odegaard into the left and play him on the right. Like, the thing is, we want options. You can't be complaining, And I agree with the guy. If we don't get that left winger, I'm still debating if we're going to get a winger or not, because we're not going to sell Trossard. We're not going to sell Martinelli. We still have.
Let's go, guys. I'm gonna ask him. You beat Man U in the first game of the season? Kunle.
You ask him. Oh yeah, 100% would be a Man U, man. I ain't worried about them.
All right, enough said, bro. You have a good day, man. Thank you for joining us.
Big up, bro.
Guys, quickly, Morgan Rogers or Eze? 60 million for Morgan. 60 million for Eze. 70 million for Morgan Rogers. What are we saying?
Eze.
Apparently, Aston Villa are lining up a deal for Eze if they do sell Morgan Rogers. So that's their backup plan.
The whole point of selling Morgan Rogers is because PSR. What?
Yeah, so they're going to sell him for PSR, and then they buy another player. That money that they sell the player for hits their account right away, but the purchase price is spread out over years.
Right.
So it allows
them like trading one for another just because they have to sell.
Yeah. So if they do sell Morgan Rogers, it would be for 70 million.
It'll show 70 million in, but it'll only show like 10 million going out because Eze will be over 5 years at 50 million, 60 million, but it'll be 10 or 15 million a year.
Why don't we just go for Eze?
Because we don't do what's
Because it
required.
makes too much sense.
It makes too much sense. Exactly what he said. We don't do what's required. That's not how Arsenal Football Club works. We don't just go. We don't see the top player that's at a smaller club than us. The only time we actually went and did that was when we signed Declan Rice. When we saw the top player
And
that's-
Havertz.
Havertz
Yeah, we
is a
signed him
baller.
so
Do not
quickly. I don't
disrespect
even
my
know
baller.
how we did that.
Well, we all know why the Havertz signing got done so quickly. It's because Chelsea wanted that guy out of the door.
And we're also willing to pay the 60, 65, which I think they were.
Bro, we funded the Cole Palmer deal. Imagine if we got Cole Palmer instead of friggin' Havertz.
No. Havertz is a
God.
baller. Let's not disrespect my guy.
Havertz not better than Palmer, bro.
Definitely
Havertz
not
is
better
much
than
better than
Palmer.
Palmer.
Nah, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Mhm.
You're crazy. You're literally talking crazy. Like
All right.
Cole Palmer is a
Should be-
£100 million player. That's what he
Hey,
is.
You know
listen,
what
I
someone
don't
said?
care about
Let's
Cole
have the
Palmer.
Havertz conversation. Is Havertz a problem next year? He's going
No.
to be on 280K a week. Where is he going to play? Is he going to start up top? Is he going to play in the midfield? What is the plan?
He literally solved our problem of beating the big teams. Since he's come in, we've been unbeatable. The issue is we
haven't
can't
been
beat the small
unbeatable,
teams
but-
with him, which is why we're going to go get a striker to play against the small teams.
What's the plan with Havertz, guys? Is Havertz going to start
Play against the
game
big
one?
teams, drop him for
Yeah,
the
of
small
course
teams.
he is.
Done.
The
Is
plan with
Havertz gonna
Havertz
play-
is
Is Havertz going to play in midfield next season?
No.
no.
Hell
No.
Is
gonna be
Havertz gonna
rotated with
play?
Šeško.
Is Havertz going to play in the 10 next season?
no.
Yes, sometimes.
That I don't mind.
Sometimes.
In the 10, I don't mind. But he can't be the left-sided midfield or an 8.
Okay. Is Havertz going to get more game time in the midfield than Moreno potentially?
Yes.
No, not in the midfield, no.
Yes.
I'm including number 10.
Marino's
Yes.
better striker.
It depends, though, innit? Like, I need to see what the window holds first before I can sit there and say that. But
All
he's
right.
going to play a pivotal part. He's one of the key reasons why we beat these big teams.
All right, guys, I seen a video where Clive from Arsenal Vision podcast stated that Šeško is not confident that he can overtake Kai Havertz, where
Who-
Gyokeres has asked for the number
No,
9.
it doesn't matter who we get, bro. The reality of the matter is, Partey Šeško's better than Gyokeres.
Mentality is an issue.
Mentality is
Against a
important
big
for
team,
sure.
against a big team, Kai is what we need.
So we're gonna buy Šeško to
Against
play
the
him.
Skulls, bro. How are you saying this, man? This is irritating
Bro,
me. I'm
shit,
sorry,
oh my
man.
God.
We're gonna buy
Man,
Šeško.
We
We
only-
have
can't
not
score. When we
We're
play
gonna buy
against the
Šeško
big
to only
teams,
beat
wait,
West Ham in
Gal. When we play against the big teams and we get one chance, he doesn't score. That's the problem.
Have
We
we
need someone
been
who's gonna
beaten
score that one
since Kai
chance.
Havertz? Since Kai Havertz has joined us,
I
we have
agree,
not been beaten.
but it's not good enough. It's
Since
not
Kai
good
Havertz
enough.
has joined us, Declan Rice was here. Maybe that's the difference.
I
No.
agree, Souls. I know what you're saying. I'm not disproving. I
assisted
agree
the
we've
goal
been
that
better,
beat us
but
in
it's
the
not
first
good
time?
enough.
Souls is saying it doesn't make sense regardless. He's under the
First time we beat City, Havertz comes on, right, heads the ball, and what happens? There we go.
And we beat
That's what
PSG
I'm
with
saying.
him
No, I'm
too.
just-
Are you
So-
saying
No,
Havertz
his
is the
issue-
key
his
to our
issue-
wins?
His issue, no. Kai Havertz's biggest issue is against a small team when you're playing low blocks. That's not where you play him. That's what we need to fix. The problem is not the big teams. We beat big teams regardless of who our striker
No,
is.
the problem is not big or small team, Souls. The problem
It
is he
is.
cannot finish. It's about his finishing. It's
No,
not
no,
about
it's
who he
nothing to do with
plays.
that, man.
It's about him as a
He-
player and
No,
what
no.
he
It's
can
under the
do for a
impression.
It's
team.
not him as a player, man. It's not.
Bro,
Souls
You
is
guys
under
have
the
got
impression
too,
that we're going to
you've got
sign a
too many
striker
agendas. You're
to
blinded.
score every single game, and then when a big game comes along, the striker that scores every single game won't
And
be
it's
playing.
not just that's what I'm saying. It's not about the big games. He can
It's
even
not,
miss
no,
against
because
the
what he
small
does
games.
is more
Like,
than just scoring goals.
no,
reality of the matter
man.
is
We
the way
sorry,
he
Souls.
is-
We buy a striker to score goals. That's all we care about. I know he has
And
to
to
do
win
more.
games, Kai Havertz has been winning us games. The problem is
Yeah,
when you
I'm
have
not
the
disagreeing,
Fulhams,
but
when
not
you
good
have
enough.
these sort of games, that's where his problem is against the low blocks. That's what we're trying to fix. We don't need to fix any other issue. Everything else is fine.
We need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net with a half chance, and he can't do that. I'm sorry. When he's one-on-one, he can't even. I'm not even confident he finishes 6 out of 10 times, right? So that is the problem for me. If you have someone like Gyokeres, you're very confident 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times he's going to score that chance. You have an Mbappe, you have a whatever.
I'm also 99% confident Havertz stars and we beat a big team. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've been doing. Without Havertz, we haven't been beating these big teams either.
And with
That's the
Havertz, we
reality as
haven't
well.
won the league either. So like the fact that we're pushing out this
have I
narrative.
not just said when it comes to the smaller teams against the low blocks is what we're trying to get. That's why we haven't won it. It's because of the draws against Fulham. It's the draws against Southampton. It's those kind of games is why we've cost us the league. That's where Havertz, yes, I admit he is a problem in those games.
Okay, what about his
But
wages?
when it comes to doesn't matter, man. The guy helps us win big games. That's what we need. He's a
Okay.
big game player. Simple as.
This is my question. Kai Havertz, anybody who's signing for Arsenal is going to look at Kai Havertz wages and they're going to say, you know what, I want better than that. Is that also a problem?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
He's a striker. Of course they want money.
Nah, man.
Bro,
If someone
Rodrigo also.
If someone thinks
It's
they're
fine.
better than him, they're gonna obviously ask for more than him, right? That's logical, right? Like if you think you're a better player than Havertz, you're gonna expect higher wages than him because that's just standard procedure. So it is a problem, like we said, like giving someone like Reece Nelson 150K. If Šeško comes and you offer him 150K, he'll look at that and be like, "Are you saying that I'm as valuable as someone as Reece Nelson?" Obviously not, right? So it is a problem, but it is what it is. We've made our bed. We're not gonna sell him. I think we have another year at least with him before we decide what we want to do.
Where do you think he plays the most next season? At
He's gonna
striker, at
start-
10, or at left center
Yeah,
mid?
he's going to start as striker, and then I think Arteta's going to leave it up to him and Šeško to battle it out. And that is what we want. We want competition for places, and they got to fight it out in training. And in matches, whoever is doing better deserves to start. It has to be a meritocracy. Whoever is deserving to start or is best to start for a game is the one who has to play, in my opinion. It'll take some time for him as well to like settle into the league and stuff, right? Especially with the fixture list that we have. Be prepared that Havertz is going to start. Like,
Okay,
I'm not even surprised if our front three will be the same as the end of the season.
Just to let you know, I'm going to put the team Šeško on this side. Everyone's team Gyokeres here? What are we saying?
Yep.
Šeško.
Who you want, African Guna? Who do you prefer?
I've always wanted Gyokeres, but I don't think it's going to be him. I know it's going to be
All right.
Šeško. And I'm happy with
let me tell you guys, I heard some good news today. And I heard that good news from an unreliable source, unfortunately. The report is that Šeško is no longer the favorite, and the favorite is now all of a sudden Viktor Gyokeres. Apparently, Viktor Gyokeres has informed his team and his family that he will be joining Arsenal. Now, this is, of course, reported by TalkSport, not the most reliable source, but I will take it with a grain of salt and say if Šeško is no longer the number one choice, it might be due to what we heard just the other day, reportedly, that they're not willing to, what is it, African Gunner, that they're not willing to lower the wages?
They're not willing to lower their demands of the 80 to 100 million euro release clause, variable release clause that they're pushing for.
So the Swedish striker could be more likely to sign for Arsenal now.
Yeah, but
this
we've
saga
been told, right? No, go ahead, Digal. Sorry, go ahead.
As this saga is now longer than the Majin Buu saga.
Yeah, so I mean, in my opinion, like this thing about Gyokeres, we already know he's already signed. He's already agreed a 5-year contract with us. He's already told Man U that he's waiting for us. So like, I don't believe the thing about the priority, but I do believe that he's told his friends and family that he wants Arsenal because we already know that. It's not new information, in my opinion, right? I mean, if you put 2 and 2 together, it makes complete sense. If the guy's told Man U and Juventus, I don't want to move, I don't want to agree to a deal because I'm waiting to hear what Arsenal's going to say, then obviously he's told his friends and family that he wants to move to Arsenal, right?
I think right now
I'm so confused with this whole situation, to be honest, bro. Like it's really
I think right now nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
I agree.
And every single day we keep hearing reports about Šeško, we keep hearing reports about Gyokeres, and the real reality is the two clubs that want to sell the player want to get the most money possible. Arsenal have drummed up some sort of situation where the two clubs selling are at war at how much they can try to negotiate. We are in a situation where we are negotiating 2 deals at the same time, and we've created a bidding war between 2 agents trying to sell their player quicker. I've never seen this before. Have you guys seen this recently? Where usually it's 2 clubs going for 1 player. Have you ever seen 2 players trying to join 1 club?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if the club is that good and the project is that enticing, then why wouldn't more than, even if 3 players? I mean, I think the only difference is that we're actually seeing this being reported. I'm sure this happens all the time. Obviously, the same players want to be joining the best teams, right? How many players probably try to join Man City, and most of them can never join Man City, right? It's up to Pep Guardiola to decide who he wants. And let's also add to the fact that, you know, I think Arsenal have definitely know who they want, and they just got to pull the trigger, right? And I mean, what the rumor is about, you know, the agent of Šeško coming out saying like, oh, he basically saying they haven't even decided, and that he might not even move. It might be next week, it might be next month, or it might be in 2 years, is what he said, right? That doesn't give me any confidence that Šeško's really chosen us and like he wants to come to us. So I'm like really thrown off by this whole situation. It's becoming really boring in my opinion. And it would be very classic Arsenal if we just end up with neither and we get like mud on our face and we end up with Watkins, who Aston Villa need to sell because of you know, financial fair play and PSR, and we get him for the 40 million that we bid in January. It's just so classic Arsenal, man. It's really disappointing right now. I'm still trying to remain calm, but like every day that goes by and like every time you see more back and forth stuff, it gets annoying, to be honest. I'm tired of it.
What are you saying, Dylan?
I agree. I think we'll end up with something below what expectations were. The idea was that we had to not spend in January when we needed to save for the big summer. And the big summer is on fire. I mean, the summer it's not going great, is it? I mean, look at it. Like, who's going to be the winger? Who's going to be the striker? We don't know who the striker is going to be. Like, in 2022-23, when we started off the league so strongly and we caught everyone off guard, we had Jesus and we had Zinchenko in the pre-season in America. They were playing. Like, and it was clicking from early doors. And then by the time the season came, we were firing. Last season, we brought in Raheem Sterling on game week 4. On game week 4. 5, sorry. No. Game week 5?
4, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. Like, still, like, you're bringing in a crap winger 4 weeks into the season. Like, at what point, like, obviously you got some people who sit around and go, oh, it's early in the window. Like, exactly, so get it done. Like, the window isn't like just because it's open for that long, it doesn't need to take that long. For example, Real Madrid had Trent wrapped up when? Like, Real Madrid had Trent wrapped up months ago. Hoyson's been a Real Madrid player for like 6 weeks now. Like, it's just excuse making. It's a small like, it's silly.
And on the Gyokeres stuff, apparently, like the agent is lying about that gentleman's agreement. That's what Portuguese media is reporting today, is that they found out that there's actually no gentleman's agreement. The 60 million thing that they were talking, it doesn't exist. Apparently, this is all the agents doing to try and reduce the fee and push his player out of the club. Like, so it's just, everything is just changing every day. New story, 20% release clause on top of the fee for Šeško. Like, it's just jarring, man. It's jarring.
I think these happen. I think in the same way Liverpool have got to spend 130 on Havertz, and they've got Frimpong. We've made a few sales. We sold Smith Rowe for some good money last summer. I think in a couple of weeks' time, it just needs to drop. The Arsenal bid 140 million for Isak. Just drop it. Just bid the 140 million. Get everyone excited. Get someone proven. Get someone young. Get someone that can do it all. Just come and do it.
All right, let me stop you right there. Liverpool apparently are ahead of Arsenal for Isak right now. And Liverpool wants Isak.
Arsenal can't. So we get told that Arsenal can't afford all these people. Liverpool are run by stingy Americans as well, but they've managed to get Havertz and Frimpong already. And you're telling me that after Isak?
Yeah, they want to break their record again to get Isak, but I don't believe it.
Liverpool could shake up the market.
Nah, there's no way, man. Like another 100, there's no way. I don't believe it. It's impossible. If they do, then Arsenal fans will lose it,
mate. If Liverpool get Isak, I'm never taking this club.
You know what people are saying? People are saying Isak won trophies with Newcastle. He could potentially win the league with Liverpool. Arsenal, there's no guarantee about that.
I don't think the club are going to let him go at all. I don't entertain him leaving the club.
They will for a price. 150, 100, he will go. They'll sell him.
Right? I don't think.
Do you guys think Isak, Liverpool agree a fee for Isak? Do you think Arsenal will try to go in and get him also?
I think we have to. I mean, we have to try. But at the end of the day, right? I think you got to think on Newcastle. For Newcastle, right? They get.
I don't think Newcastle have to sell.
40, 150. I don't think they have to sell. Since the famous gives me the guy on TalkSport, but no, I think at some point they've got to sell someone because they haven't sold anyone really.
They could sell Livramento to Newcastle. I mean, Man City. They could sell Livramento to Man City.
I don't know. I just think they would sell for a price. Is what I'm saying. There is a price on that guy. He's not priceless. There is a price they would sell him for.
I think.
So why hasn't Arsenal been like, name the price, we'll pay it?
We're not serious.
No, it's not because we're not serious. It's because we think that he's overvalued. We don't think he's actually worth that. That's why we're not going to put that money.
We thought he was overvalued at 55 million.
I know, but what can we do?
We're sat here debating, right, we've got a striker who scores a load of goals, but he's 27 and he scores a lot of penalties and he's never proved it in the Prem. We've got a striker who's 21, 22 now. He has never scored a load of goals, but he could score. We're sat here just negotiating this bid off when there's a guy right in front of us at a team worse off than us, a smaller club than us. In the north of England, he would obviously rather be in London. But
if you sign him, we can't sign anybody else. That's the problem. If you get him, then forget everything else. And
just signed Havertz for 130. They've signed Frimpong, and you literally.
I know, but we're not Liverpool. If we sign Isak for 140 million, you can forget everything else. There's no centre back coming. There's no back. I mean, like there's not a winger coming. Like forget everything else.
When we signed Rice, we spent what? How much did we spend on Rice? We spent about
105.
65 on Havertz. Who else did we get?
40 million on Timber, and then we loaned David Rea so that we didn't have to buy him straight out, which was great. I don't think we have another window like that where we spend that money. Like I think that was a one-off window where we spent all that money to get us to where we are now, and we were supposed to build on it, and we didn't.
People are ignoring the fact that we sold Emile Smith Rowe for nearly 40 million. That frees up 3 times in that in terms of what you're allowed to spend. Like I'm not here to play a social media accountant, but like. There is money there. The amount of money Arsenal generates, like there is money there. I'm not, especially after the awful summer we had last year.
How much do you think Arsenal was going to spend in this window? Like, it would be realistic in your mind right now, but like
the way it's been made out to us over the last few months, and not doing anything in Jan, so we can have a
no, I know, but you know that's all PR. But I'm asking you an honest question, like how much do you think that the club is actually be realistic? How much do you think we're going to spend before we actually sell? 150.
Number one, what have we got? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't predict anything about this.
It's 150 to 200 million. You can already know that by the fact that we already spent 50 million plus 5 million on Kepa. That's 55. We'll spend 30 on another defender. We'll spend maybe 50 on the left winger, and we'll spend the 75 on the striker. That's it.
It's going to be something underwhelming, isn't it? It is going to be like a Madueke. It is probably not Madueke, but it is going to be something underwhelming. I can already tell.
I'm not focused on the winger because I think that's going to be way down the line. I think we get the striker, then we get the center back, then we get the backup goalie, and then the last piece we add is going to be the winger at the end of the window. You know, that's how I see it panning out.
You know what? Shout out everyone in the comment section. Please do hit the like button. Let's see how much likes we're currently on the video. I haven't checked the likes in a minute. We have over 300 people watching on YouTube. We currently have over 700 people, over 900 people watching on all platforms. How do we only have 50 likes? Come on, guys. We should be at least on 100 likes before the end of the video. Please do like the video right now. Make sure you like the video. Gunnar Souls, I'm going to ask you quickly. Alexander Isak, 150 million pounds. Šeško, 80 million pounds. Gyokeres, 60 million pounds. Why don't Arsenal just pay the full amount? Does it not make sense?
I mean, look, it's. I don't know how true the whole Newcastle are going to sell Isak is, because they've just made Champions League football. They're going to probably want to try and retain arguably their best player in the last sort of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or something of that nature. Don't forget, what's that?
Best player since Shearer, probably.
Yeah, like he is the attraction for the project they're trying to build. Like, don't forget, these owners don't need money. Like, yes, PSR maybe, Newcastle as an entity may need money, but they'll solve that. They've got other players who they can sell, to retain a Isak and bring better players in. So I look, it's always a difficult one because, with all due respect, Newcastle aren't an Arsenal, they're not a Liverpool, they're not a City. Like, if any one of us go in, like, the likelihood is he should be tempted by it. But at the same time, we don't know what the project of Newcastle holds as well, like what they're planning to do in the Champions League, what they're going to plan to bring in this summer, like what kind of players they're going to be. Because he's not forcing his move either. Like, he's not exactly sitting there saying, I don't want to play here anymore. Arsenal in for me, Liverpool are in for me. He's kind of remained calm, and he's looking like he's negotiating a contract with them as well. So I'm not convinced by the idea that, like, just drop the money and we'll get the player. I think Arsenal have done enough groundwork to understand kind of what it'll take, and they're weighing up their options. It's the same with Gyokeres and Šeško. I don't think Isak is off the table. I think it's a case of, if he becomes, I think that's what they're actually waiting on, is a definitive, he is not going to move this summer. And I don't think Arsenal have got that. I don't think Liverpool have got that either. I think both clubs have gone in and inquired, and Newcastle are also kind of just seeing kind of where Isak's head's at. Does he sign this new contract? Does he, negotiate a new deal? And if he doesn't, then Newcastle hand could be forced just to sell, because if they're able to get like 120, 130, 140, 150 million pounds, this is the last time they're ever going to get that kind of money, because otherwise he'll just run his deal down, because he's got another year left after this season. So it's going to become a case of Newcastle will start panicking, because if he's not going to sign, they'll have to let him go for free. And that's a big issue for them as well. But at the same time, we also have to look at the flip side. There isn't an unlimited pond of money either. There's not, because of the PSR, because of FFP, and it's about understanding what makes the most sense. If we can go and get, let's say, a Rodrigo and like a Šeško or a Gyokeres instead of getting Alexander Isak, that could be better for us. And I know what Dylan's point is. Like, obviously, Isak is, this player, but sometimes getting the two players can make more of an impact for us, and obviously depth in the squad and stuff like that. And that's what the club are weighing up. They're weighing up their options of how important is it. If we go get Isak and that's all we can do, is that going to be okay? Are we going to be able to go and win the league? And that's what they have to weigh up.
Let me stop everyone there, guys. There's a like button. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free. How do we have 56 likes out of 237 of you guys watching? It doesn't make sense. Please do like the video. It's absolutely free. And if you're watching on Twitter, come over and just like the video. Shout out to everyone in the comment section also. So yeah, before we go any further, maybe we answer some questions in the comment section. But let me just say this: tough start to the season. Arsenal needs signings ASAP. How you guys feeling about this tough start to the season that we're gonna have? No excuses. I'm just saying it is a tough start to the season. We're gonna face Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Newcastle, all within the first 6 games.
I'm glad that's a fixture list, because that means they can kick up a gear and actually go and get these players. Because if we had an easy start, I can see this club getting lazy and going, oh, we'll just drag out these transfers. But now the fact that we've got United first, we've got Liverpool or something in the first 3, we've got City in the first 5, they have to make these signings, and they have to go into it with giving them at least a good amount of preseason games. I'm talking at least like 3 games minimum for whatever players that we're going to bring in to integrate with the team, understand what we're trying to do, because they're all going to be needed. So hopefully the fact that we've got a harder fixture list kicks them into gear.
What about you? What are you saying, Dylan?
I completely agree. Like I said before, I think you need to have, like that year when we had Zinchenko and Jesus firing in pre-season, it carried in straight into the season. 6-0 against Sevilla the week before the season started. You knew something was going to happen. That Friday night game against Crystal Palace away that year, first game of the season, the football we played that night, oh my God, I just remember it like, oh my God, this is insane, it's unheard of. Like, and it'd been in the making for about a month. Like, we've only got 2 months until the season starts. I need a we need a signing ASAP. We need a signing in the next 3-4 weeks to get something over the line soon. But like I said, it's Arsenal Football Club, so what can you expect? There's not really much you can expect.
You guys are kind of defeated.
Well, it's kind of something that happens year on year. It happens all the time.
You're still gonna go to all the games. Don't act like you won't.
Huh?
You're still gonna go to the first game of the season. You're still gonna go to watch them.
That's how it works. But it'd be much nicer if I could say I'm going to the first game of the season. I know that we're going to have what's required, but we won't, unfortunately.
Hey, last year Liverpool did not win the league by signing 7 players. They won the league by actually staying put and assessing their situations.
Yeah, they had a top manager.
Arteta's a top manager. Why do you look like you're about to laugh?
He doesn't think he is. That's why.
People, that's a Ghana flag, not a Senegal flag. What are they talking about? Do Senegal and Ghana have similar colors? I'm confused.
Not really. No, it's a whole different shade of green. Nah, it's not even in the same order. It's nothing like.
Yeah, Senegal's like this.
Orientation. Yes.
What are we doing? Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Honestly, it's long. It's long. I don't even know what to say.
I really hope. I just hope in the next couple of weeks something breaks. Something breaks. We haven't had like a breakthrough on any kind of signings recently. I just think
something. I mean, 1st of July, Zubimendi will be announced. That's just because of PSR and when they want to announce.
Sometimes I see comments and I just say to myself, "What are you talking about?" Not gonna lie, you're Muslim, but the way you talk about other men is very weird. Wallahi. What?
Oh, people think if you talk about football on a podcast that you're a cook. It's this the red pill stupidness. These men's brains are fried. They think everything's gay. They think everything's this. Well, whilst they're wanking off with their mates, it's the same guys who say it. Like it's
kind of, I don't know what I said that's even sus. If there was something that I said that was sus.
It's because what they do is they project their own insecurities right on other people. That's the reality.
No, he's saying I'm glazing Arteta because I said he's a top manager.
Yeah. These ignore
it. Man.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird take. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here. Let you guys know you can find Dylan on TikTok. He's absolutely killing it over there on TikTok right now. So Dylan, AFC Dylan, right? On TikTok?
Yeah, AFC Dylan on TikTok.
And Gunner Souls is on Twitter, of course. We're gonna wrap it up here. Probably clip up some of these and repost it for you guys. And I've already done a video on Liverpool. But yeah, Noni Madueke, no chance. And please stop falling for the rage bait because they just want us to lose our shit. Anyways, we're out of here, people. Catch you guys on the next one. Love for the love. You already know what it is. Peace.